Hi everyone, this is Phil Weston with Veteran Pro Wrestling, and I'm here with Brian the Hammer Sullivan, holding court here in the mayor's office. I'd like to start off by saying thank you to Brian for joining us today. This is really an impromptu thing. I would have been dressed nicer had I known this was going to be an actual event, but we got together and we started talking about things, and as frequently happens when Brian and I get together, things just escalated and got out of control. We said, you know what, we need to get this on tape and share it with everybody. So thanks for tuning in. Brian, thanks for coming out. We were talking about the wonderful event that we had at the Mystic VFW a few weeks ago. Some of the great matches that we had, and the things that really stood out. And I was just telling you that for me personally, that there were a lot of great matches. There was fantastic wrestling going on all night long, but the one thing that stood out to me at the end of the night was the brother-on-brother match with the Rex brothers, particularly Narcisco Rex. Now, I'm just going to put this out here, everybody. When you think professional wrestler and you get a picture in your head, okay, Narcisco Rex does not fit that picture. You look at him and that's not what you see when you see this guy. Put him in a ring, though, and it all breaks loose. This guy was amazing. We're talking about going high off the top rope. We're talking about, you know, working the mat, everything in between. Amazing moves, fantastic skills. Brian, what did you think?
Well, I thought it was a great match too, but they have a match coming up now in which a championship will be at stake, and that same athleticism and knowledge will be put to the test.
Absolutely. You're talking about the one that's coming up with the Let Freedom Ring match, which is coming up in, was it the 3rd?
July the 3rd, yep.
July 3rd, that's it. Let Freedom Ring, that's going to be Narcisco Rex versus Nate Nasser. And you're absolutely right, that's going to be a fantastic match. There's been some rumors going around about some hate and discontent growing between these guys. There's been a certain amount of smack talking going on online in the various forums and whatnot, and there's definitely some bad blood growing here. It's going to be a really, really good match.
That's right, and we're going to have it for you coming up on the 3rd of July, right at the Mystic VFW. The second match coming up is for the Susan Tex Green United States. That's right. Let me say it again. The Susan Tex Green U.S. Championship will be defended by the Star Spangled Butt Kicker Rescue 911 versus WWE superstar Richie Rich, who is rumored to be buying all of VPW's talent. What do you think about that?
You know, I've heard that rumor from a couple of other places, and at first I didn't put any credit to it at all, but now I'm hearing it, like I said, from more and more places. I'm really wondering what's going on there. Richie Rich has been known to pull some underhanded stunts in the past. It wouldn't surprise me to find out that he's spreading his money around, trying to buy up the talent, trying to buy off the officials, whatever it takes to get the win on his side of the paper. It's going to be crazy. Again, seeing all these guys out there. The Star Spangled Butt Kickers, Rescue 911, of course, always a fan favorite.
Yes, he is.
It's just going to be an amazing event. And again, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to be back at the Mystic VFW. That's 60 Stonington Road in Mystic, Connecticut. Tons of parking, very easy to get to, but enough said about that. You have to be there, though.
The next match coming up will be for the VPW Women's Captain Alexis Ann Championship title. Will be on the line in a tag team match, first time ever. Now, whoever makes the pin in this tag team match will win the VPW Women's Championship. The current holder of the VPW Championship is the Whip Mistress, and she will be tagging with Toxis, and they will both be going against Tequila, Rose, and Valkyrie. I heard that if she's going to be banned from the property if the whip is to be used again.
Well, that's what happened last time. If you remember, again, going back to the last event we had at the Mystic VFW, it was a great match. It was Valkyrie against the Whip Mistress, and what impressed me the most was the power that the Whip Mistress brings to the wrestling ring. Valkyrie, fantastic wrestler in her own right, of course, but it really had her hands full, trying to counteract the incredible power that the Whip Mistress was bringing in through great technique and speed, and it was back and forth, and it was a great show. However, when all was said and done, at the end of the match, the whip mistress lived up to her name, broke that whip out, and put some pain down on our opponent. Again, like you said, Brian, if she does that again, there's the talks of banning her from the property. She's been warned. She seems, well, she understands clearly, but she seems that she's going to comply. Then again, in the heat of the moment at the end of a match, you never know with her. Sometimes things happen, and if it happens again, I think there's going to be some ramifications this time.
Yes, there is. And coming up, the fifth match on the card will be TKO. The favorite Terrence Coyotes of the Star Spangled Butt Kickers will be going up against the very deranged, and I mean this wrestler's deranged Jekyll. What do you think? I hope that this doesn't get out of hand.
Anytime you get them in the ring, you never know what's going to happen. The skills and talent that they bring to a match is always going to bring a surprise, because you never know what's going to happen, what these guys are going to do, especially with some of the other stuff that frequently gets tossed in. When you start taking strong personalities like the two of them, especially TKO. I mean, he's a stand-up guy,
yep.
But very much an alpha individual.
Yep.
You know, a type A personality, if you will, and for good reason. I mean, the guy's very, very good at what he does, and some people that just rubs the wrong way, and we're going to see how it happens. Jekyll, they call him deranged for a reason. He's unpredictable. Yep. He's dangerous. He's violent, and he's very, very good at it. And
yeah.
Sometimes he can almost seem normal.
Yep.
But all of a sudden something happens, something said, exactly, he snaps,
like
and boom, all of a sudden you're in the middle of a very violent event, and
TKO, I hope for his sake, is very careful.
Exactly, he better keep his wits about him at all time, because I've seen a lot of very good people.
Because like I say, if the devil comes up, he may lose it all. You know that. Exactly.
That's the way it happens.
You bet. Now, another match on the card, the real Broadway bad boy Hercules Jones will be going up against the Angel the Icon from the Blacklist. That match has some ramifications. What do you think?
You know what? These are two wrestlers that I only know by reputation only. I've not seen either of them wrestle before, and I'm looking forward to it very much. Everyone I've talked to says that's one of the matches that they're really looking forward to seeing, that this has been a long time coming. I guess there was some bad blood in the past. I don't know if they've gotten past it or not, or if this is only going to bring it to the surface again and reintroduce a whole lot of drama. I don't know. It certainly can't hurt, we'll put it that way. You never know where things are going to end up. We certainly found that out at the last match. Things got a little out of control. We ended up with some technical difficulties as a result. It was a fun evening. Looking back at, as I said at the end of it, is that nobody went to the hospital. Nobody ended up. Well, maybe a little bit. Weren't too many bloody noses. No teeth missing or anything like that. Nobody ended up going to the hospital. That much craziness in one location, nobody goes to the hospital, that's a good night. Anything beyond that, we don't worry about it too much.
Okay, now the final match on the card. Yeah. The Patriot, Paul Sevier of the Star Spangled Butt Kickers, signed an open contract for an open challenge to defend the Ox Baker Memorial Cup. As you know, he won that at the last event. And let's see who he defends against. What do you think?
I don't know who's going to end up taking that challenge. Ox Baker was a wonderful guy. We got to meet him. I think he might have played into the whole thing there. Things kind of got a little crazy at the end.
Let me remind everybody, for people who don't know who Ox Baker is, he was a professional athlete. He appeared in the movie Escape from New York. And he did a lot of movies. He was also on, I'm going to tell you this, Ox Baker was on The Price is Right with Bob Barker, and he was afraid of him. You know that?
Yes, I've heard the stories.
Yep. Now we have the honorary commish. We're going to have New England wrestling legend Bad News Walt Swan there.
Yep. Yep, Bad News, a fan favorite, especially locally here in southeastern Connecticut. You couldn't turn around without bumping into somebody wearing his T-shirt or a poster or something from Mr. Swan. It was a fantastic night. That's going to be interesting. I've not seen Bad News ever be able to sit out and stay away from the action. So we'll see how it goes. Being the commissioner is a very important position, and it's going to be his responsibility to make things, sure that things are run professionally and that things stay somewhat under control. If anybody can make it happen, Bad News, yeah, he'll be able to do it because he gets a lot of respect from people both inside and outside the ring.
We have some special guests tonight, which I'm going to read off to you right now. WWE legend Ricky Sexton, pro boxing contender Cassius Chaney, Princess Jennifer, the Portuguese princess, roller derby legend Fun Size Fury, who we had at our last event, and the Deathmasters MC. And it's rumored that the train Josh Diekman might be coming, Phil.
I'm looking forward to that. Met Josh for the first time recently. Fantastic guy. You just look at him, and the first thing you say, okay, he's either Special Forces or an MMA fighter, one or the other. Is just if we were talking about picturing pro wrestling earlier, same thing. If you picture an MMA fighter in your head, and then look this way, and you see Josh, it's like, yeah, that's him. I mean, that's it. The guy just oozes from his pores, controlled violence. This is somebody that, if you get inside the cage with this guy, there's pain around the corner. It's just going to be awful. But at the same time, sitting down, talking with him at the table and everything, listening to some of the things, he comes across as a very nice person, very controlled, very, what's the word I'm looking for? Very passionate.
Yes,
certainly very passionate about the things that matter to him. And it's going to be a lot of fun having him there that night. I'm looking forward very much to doing a lot more work with him in the future. He and I have been speaking a little bit about some of the stuff that he has planned, and hopefully we'll continue to be involved with some of that.
Sponsors for our event at the VFW include Romantic Receptions, the Resident Newspaper, Good News Travels Fast, and the Mystic VFW Mens Aux. You have a special fundraiser that you need to tell people, so why don't you tell everybody what this is about?
As a matter of fact, I do. We mentioned Josh Diekman earlier. This is the event that Josh was telling us about. A very close friend of his passed away recently, a well-known local guitarist and I believe a teacher, if I remember right, Joe Dodo, D-O-T-O. Again, he passed away recently. They're having a fundraiser in his memory to promote taking care of the less fortunate in the local community. This is going to be an annual event. Josh and Joe, I guess, played in a rock band together, and that's one of the things that they're going to promote with this organization. Is they're going to promote music to the kids, to keep music alive, because that's what Joe would have wanted. If you go to Facebook and do a search for Joe Dodo, and again that's D-O-T-O, or you can go to Josh Diekman's page, and it's on there a couple times as well. You may have to scroll for a while because Josh is a prolific writer, and but hey, that's a good excuse to go to Josh's page and check things out anyway. Tons of stuff on there. Josh loved the picture of you from the Bodice Ripper front cover of a book or whatever. They used to use Fabio for all those. They're now using Josh Diekman for most of those cover shots now. I think it's an upgrade personally, but check it out. Again, Josh Diekman, and the fundraiser is going to be in June. Let me look here. I hate to read it off the screen, but I'm going to try to find it on here. I don't have the date here. Hang on a second. Brian, do you remember what the date was off the top of your head?
I don't remember, but
it's coming up in June.
It's coming up in June, and then we'll get that information out to you people in television land. And why don't you tell everybody?
Always ask the phone. The phone knows everything, right, guys? Okay, Saturday, June 6th at 11 a.m. And it's going to be the Bird's Eye Cafe. I guess that's the starting point. It's going to be a shotgun motorcycle scramble type thing. But it's the Joe Dodo Poker Run Music Festival and Benefit. Again, Josh Diekman's the man.
Yes, he is.
Go to his Facebook page, reach out to him there, talk to him. great guy. He'll have all the information. He'll point you to other people. Make sure that you clear your schedule though, because it's going to be an all-day event of lots of fun, lots of great people, fantastic music. Make sure you're there.
Alrighty, well that's going to do it for today. For Phil Weston, my name is Brian Sullivan saying so long from the Constitution State.
Take care, everybody.